The following message is transmitted at the request of the Vermont State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services and the Montpelier Police Department. It has been seen in Montpelier that two unknown people were seen flying in the skies above Montpelier, Vermont. They appear to be flying on broomsticks and they appear to be witches. If you have any information about the witches, call 911 immediately. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Vermont State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services and the Montpelier Police Department. It has been reported that the two witches flying above Vermont appear to be witches seen in the very popular movie called Wicked. It has also been reported that the two witches have colors to them. One of them is green and one of them is pink. At this time, no more information is available. If you have any information about the witches, call 911 immediately. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Vermont State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services and the Montpelier Police Department. It has now been reported that the two witches looking like witches from the movie Wicked flying above Vermont now have names to them. The green witch is named Elphaba, the pink witch is named Glinda, and they appear to be neutral
towards humans and they don't seem to fly below 4,000 feet. However, if they both fly below 4,000 feet, please contact local authorities immediately. Do not attempt to interact with these witches or shoot them down. Doing so may cause a disaster on the ground. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further updates.
This message is to be broadcasted statewide. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Vermont State Division of Homeland Security. It has been reported that the two witches flying above Montpelier have left the Montpelier area and is heading south towards the New York City area. The witches do not appear to be hostile at this time, but all safety precautions must be taken in case
the situation becomes dangerous at this time. All civilians in Vermont should grab necessary essentials, such as food and water, to prepare for a disaster as it is unknown if the two witches are hostile towards humans. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further updates.
Civil danger warning for Rutland, Vermont. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Vermont State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services and the Rutland Police Department. It has been reported that the two witches flying south towards New York City has casted a spell to create even more witches. These witches do not appear to be hostile towards humans at this time, but all safety precautions must be taken in case the situation becomes dangerous. At this time, all residents in Rutland, Vermont should be vigilant at this time and take great care while traveling. If you see unusual activity, call 911 immediately. Stay tuned for further updates if they become available. The following message is transmitted at the request of the New York State Division of Homeland Security. All residents on Long Island must evacuate immediately. A massive population of green and pink witches are heading south towards New York City.
It is expected they'll arrive in the city within the next 2 hours. Grab essentials such as food, water, clothing, medical supplies, a battery-powered radio, extra batteries, phones, chargers, and a firearm and flashlight in case of intrusion. Make sure your supplies last as long as possible. Do not grab any personal belongings, as there is very little time to do so. Evacuate along Interstate 495 or State Route 27 West towards New York City. If you are attacked by a witch, use arm protection at all costs. Further updates will be provided as they become available.
Good afternoon. We have breaking news. A massive amount of green and pink witches were flying south towards New York City and they have arrived. It is not known if they are dangerous to humans or not, or if they will cause trouble across New York City. We are going live to Alice, who is there reporting the scene. Alice, are you there?
Yes, Alex, I can hear you loud and clear. I am standing at Times Square where some of the witches are located, and they seem to be thinking about something. Something that can probably put New York City in jeopardy, but it isn't known at this time. That was one of the reasons why Long Island was evacuated. Because if an evacuation is mandatory, people won't have to be stuck in traffic. In fact, many people are struggling to evacuate off of Long Island. The witches appeared to be green and pink, seen in the very popular movie Wicked. Wait a minute. The green witches are doing something. They were pointing their magic wands at the Empire State Building. What on this planet Earth? They are lifting the Empire State Building all the way up, and oh no, oh no, 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 no.
Civil danger warning for the city of New York. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. The Green Witches has destroyed the Empire State Building in New York City by lifting it up and then crashing it down on New York City ground. It is believed an attack may be imminent on the nation soon. At this time, all residents within a 10-mile radius of New York City must evacuate immediately. Gather essentials such as food, water, clothing, medical supplies, a battery-powered radio with extra batteries, phones, chargers, and a firearm and flashlight. Make sure your supplies last as long as possible. Do not take any other personal belongings, as there is very little time to do so. If you are attacked by a witch, use armed protection at all costs. Evacuate west along Interstate 80 or evacuate south on Interstate 95. Continue to monitor local outlets for more updates when they become available. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. The massive population of witches has conquered most of the cities in the Northeast, but they are heading west rapidly. This is an extremely dangerous situation. It is expected they'll be in Los Angeles within the next 6 hours. Also, martial law has been declared in most of the Northwest states. At this time, all residents in the Northwest states should seek immediate shelter. Grab essentials such as food, water, clothing, medical supplies, a battery-powered radio with extra batteries, phones and chargers, and a firearm and flashlight in case of intrusion.
Make sure you have the longest possible supply of each item. Do not take any other personal belongings, as there is very little time to do so.
If you are attacked by a witch, use armed protection at all costs. Continue to monitor local outlets for more updates when they become available.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the California Emergency Management Agency in conjunction with the Federal Emergency Management Agency. The green and pink witches have made their way to California and they are currently causing massive damage and destruction to the state. It is also being confirmed that more and more witches are appearing at a rapid rate and are spreading across the world. At this time, all residents in the state of California should go underground immediately. Gather essentials such as food, water, clothing, medical supplies, a battery-powered radio with extra batteries, phones, chargers, and a firearm and flashlight. Make sure the supplies last you as long as possible. Do not take any other personal belongings as there is very little time to do so. If you are attacked by a witch, use arm protection at all costs. The United States military is currently preparing for a massive invasion of these witches and will be prepared to take them down. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further updates.
This is an emergency action notification requested by the White House. All EAS participants shall follow activation procedures in the EAS Operating Handbook for a national level emergency. The President of the United States, or his designated representative, will shortly deliver a message over the emergency alert system. Please stand by.
We have interrupted our program. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow.
This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast stations and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted its regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air, providing news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is Capital Cable. We will continue to serve the Washington, D.C. area. If you're not in this local area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the Washington, D.C. area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone line should be kept open for emergency use. The emergency alert system has been activated to keep you informed. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the United States government. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. The United States military has confirmed that the green and pink witches are spreading rapidly across the world. These witches are causing massive damage and destruction at this time, and the United States military is struggling to take many of these witches down due to their powerful spells. At this time, all residents in the United States must go underground immediately. Gather necessary supplies, such as non-perishable food, water, clothing, medical supplies, a battery-powered radio with extra batteries, phones, and chargers, and a fire and flashlight in case of intrusion. Do not take any other personal belongings as there is very little time to do so. If you are attacked by a green or pink witch, use armed protection at all costs. These witches are very dangerous and can cast dangerous spells. The president is currently being taken to an undisclosed location and one of his representatives will shortly deliver a message over the emergency alert system. Please stand by.
Good afternoon, fellow Americans. I am the President's designated representative, and I will be delivering this very important message to the American public, as the U.S. President is currently unavailable and will be addressing the nation from an undisclosed location when is deemed safe, as we do not want the witches to figure out where he is. Today is the worst day of our nation's history since September 11th, 2001. Green and pink witches are spreading rapidly across the world and are causing massive damage and destruction. These green and pink witches are seen in the very popular movie Wicked. These witches are very powerful and they will kill you if you are seen. So please be careful. All we can really say is, You must continue to seek shelter in place and grab your family and friends and hope and pray that you will survive. If you haven't yet done so, go underground immediately. Refusing to go underground will greatly endanger your life. Do not panic. Panicking will only make the situation worse. America, there is hope. We may lose some great cities. We may lose the military, but we can still take these witches down. The United States military is currently working hard to take these witches down. We can do this because we are one nation under God. And that is my message to the American people. Stay safe, America.
We adopt our programming at the request of the United Nations. All normal programming has been suspended for an ongoing war crisis. This is an emergency action notification requested by the United Nations to be activated on the corridor using emergency access to technologies. Also within cyber and radio operations across the world shall broadcast this message. We will try to deliver a message to the emergency alert system. Please stand by.
We've interrupted our program. This is a global emergency. This is a global emergency. Important instructions will follow. Important instructions will follow.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United Nations. Please listen carefully to this message as this pertains to an extinction level event. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. The United Nations has confirmed that the Green Witches have pointed their ones up in space and is sending an asteroid the size of Sirius towards Earth. United States military tried to take these witches down, but they were too powerful. This means humanity is going extinct. There is nothing we can do to stop this. Call your distant relatives to say your final goodbyes and pray to our Lord and Father Jesus Christ, who is the Father of the Son of the only God. The United Nations has chose to play the United States national anthem on the algorithm of humanity's final moments. Please stand by.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars